One of the other things that the Roper team implemented is our practice communication solution for your after hours call routing. Can you talk to me a little bit about how that need was identified and how we partnered together?
After hours communication can struggle so much, especially with contacting the correct provider. So many times after hours, the call center was like sending messages to the provider, and the patient just wanted to cancel an appointment or change an appointment. Most providers don't know how to do that. Looking for some alternatives of how can we make this better. So the practice communication tool gives us options. It has the phone tree so that you can guide the patient. If you need to just change your appointment or medication refill, press 1. That's their first option. So hopefully we guide them there if that's what they need to do. So then we give them the option to page the provider, making sure that that provider's not getting any unnecessary calls. The providers just love that because, like I said prior, they were just getting tons of calls that really they couldn't assist with, right? I mean, the provider cannot change this. Routing those calls to the appropriate provider has been a win-win for the organization.
So, in terms of timeline and implementation here, it really does depend on the scale that we're looking at and how many providers, how many practices we're setting up routing for. Typical timeline is 8 to 12 weeks. If it's a smaller footprint, can definitely be done faster with some of our rapid deployment model, or depending upon that scope, it could take a bit longer than that.
Our implementation team was amazing. They scheduled all of the calls. They met with every practice manager. They went through what that practice manager wanted. If anybody on the call has dealt with any ortho practices, you know how detailed ortho can get. So they have a hand person, a shoulder person, a knee person, a foot person, every person, something for everybody. So if you took a look at the behind the scenes build of our ortho practice, you would say, how does that ever work? It is insane how we built that, but it works. And the implementation team went very carefully through that build, how the practice wanted that, and built it per the practice specifications. So they were amazing, and I can't recommend them enough. Another thing that they recommended, if anybody's already using this, one thing we do for all of our practice communications that come in after hours for our providers, where they select to message a provider, we actually copy the practice admin on that message so that the next day when the practice admin comes in, they log into Telmedic and check all those messages from the night before that went to the provider, also the ones that went to them. But they also check those provider messages to make sure that no message got missed or that the provider communicated with everybody. So I highly recommend that also.